Adoption agencies really have a very different perspective. It's a ministry and not a business. The reality is it's about serving people and serving people well and doing what the Lord has called us to do, and that's to get children into Christian families. Anna was 16 years old when she got pregnant, and she shared with her mom that she was pregnant, and they went to a crisis pregnancy center and said they were interested in adoption and wanted to work with a Christian agency. And she knew she'd be a great mother someday. She just knew now was not the time.
I knew that I wanted her to go to a Christian home because I grew up in a Christian home. I had a great childhood, and I wanted my daughter to have a very similar experience with a mom and a dad who were married and who believed in Jesus and who had a strong faith that I grew up knowing was there. The fact that I was able to find that made the entire process a lot more comforting.
We are called to walk alongside folks during a time that's very difficult, and our job is really to help them walk that grief journey in a way that allows for healing and allows for redemption in their stories. Adam and Sophia came in like many other families, and just the hope and dream of building their family through adoption, and were really just open and honest with us about where they were with their grief and where they were in their journey.
We went to doctors, more specialized doctors, to kind of talk to us and figure out what was going on. And there was no answers. It was undiagnosed infertility.
The doctors would say, hey, try this, Clomid, and all kinds of different medicines you can take. We did IVF 3 times, and we would carry those babies for a little while, and then we would lose those babies. And each time, it was harder than the last.
Working with a faith-based agency and knowing that your caseworker and the team is praying for you and praying for your weight and praying for that right child for you. All of those things I think are unique to a faith-based organization. Oftentimes when adoption is considered just a business or a transactional act, the child gets lost in the process, and as a faith-based organization, we really focus on best interest of the child.
I remember being in the hospital with my parents and my sisters and the adoptive family and their son, and the adoptive father, Mike. He prayed for all of us. I just remember holding her in my arms and hugging her so tight, and I told her, I whispered, I love you, as I was crying, and then I handed her over, handed her over to her mom. And she hugged me and she said, I just want you to know that you will always be a part of her life and our life. And I knew that she wasn't just, telling me a story. I knew we would always be together.
It was great meeting. Rachel was our caseworker at that time, and she was just sweet. And I remember when Rachel put Evan in my arms, I cried, and I just felt like it was this love that I was even surprised by it, that I just felt so connected with him, and I just feel like I love you.
Yeah.
And I want to protect you, and I want to, for the rest of your life, I just love that little boy.
In the Christian community, people believe they're led to care for the orphans and the widows, to care for children, and to adopt and bring children into their home. And so a lot of adoptive parents are called through their faith to adopt children.
If Christians were to lose the opportunity to participate in adoption with faith-based organizations, the loss to the Christian world would be huge.
The reality is being a Christian organization is the core to who we are. It's part of our mission. It's what we believe God called us to do, is to place children with Christian families. If we were no longer allowed to require our families to be Christian, traditional 2-parent couples, we'd have to close our doors.
What adoption's done for us is made us into a full family. We have 3 beautiful little boys, and the idea, that reinforcement that God is building our family this way, really just filled us with so much peace and joy.
The hard days of delivery and placement and all of that, I knew that this was exactly what needed to be done, and years later, she's exactly where she should be.
God has brought these connections together and this perfect fit. And so if we stay out of his way, if we let him do his work, it's just amazing to see the way that he brings families together and leads the right parents to every child. And I think that's what keeps us coming back.